Now, for someone who's interested in radical life extension and doesn't want to run the risk associated with cryonics, there is another possibility. Computers are becoming a larger part of our lives as their applications are explored, to the point we can't sustain our current population without them. Our jobs are more heavily reliant on the use of computers, usually to carry out tasks too dangerous or redundant for a human to perform. The versatility of the human mind, combined with the durability and computational power of modern machines, allows us to pull off some pretty amazing things. Following the advent of mechanical implants, we're sure to soon have devices that are able to send information directly to and from our brains. Going forth a few decades, and we may see people who have bodies that are more machine than man. Synthetic organs are entirely replaceable, so anyone who can afford them will be inclined to replace their organs with the more durable and efficient alternative. If you've seen Ghost in the Shell, you probably know where this is going. Despite whether or not you think it fails as an adaptation, the movie does present a very possible reality, one where we create mechanical bodies, which we hook up to our brains. This is why when you sign up with the Cryonics Institute, you have the option to have only your head preserved. Every part in this mechanical body would be synthetic and replaceable, meaning you wouldn't ever have to go to the hospital. All you have to do is 3D print yourself a new elbow, or eyeball, or whatever it is you need, assuming 3D printing technology becomes equally as sophisticated. Just to clarify, your mind wouldn't be trapped in this machine. It would only be a means of interacting with the physical world. In Ghost in the Shell, the main character, Motoko Kusanagi, is meant to prevent terrorists from hacking into people's brains. This is represented by her consciousness entering a simulation, which is referred to as a data jump. The signals in your brain can be interpreted as data and connected to a computer, which means you could remotely control other physical representations of yourself, perhaps many at the same time, literally meaning you could be in two places at once. This data transfer from brain to computer would also mean your consciousness could travel from your mechanical body into a simulation whenever you desire. Computer-generated simulations could specifically cater to the desires of an individual, meaning boredom would be a non-issue for those with a greatly extended lifespan. While the number is finite, the amount of realities that could be simulated for you in a supercomputer would be enough to last you, in theory, until the heat death of the universe. In their video, Will We Ever Run Out of New Music?, Vsauce does a great job of showing this by explaining how many possible 5-minute audio files could be programmed onto a compact disc. Michael calculated the number of possible combinations to be 2 to the 211 millionth power, due to a bit being able to exist in two states, a 1 or a 0. Out of all of these possibilities, most of them would be perceived by us as static or incoherent noise, but that wouldn't matter. The main point he gets to in his video is, while the number of combinations of all music is finite, the possibilities are so plentiful that it may as well be indefinite. I mean seriously, if you type in calculator into Google and try and raise 2 to the power of 211 million, it'll just tell you the answer is infinity, which I thought was kind of funny. The logic used to define new music is applicable to other sources of entertainment as well. Just as there are songs that we listen to on repeat, there may be simulations people would want to experience more than once. As our tastes change, our willingness to experience new things will change as well, potentially creating an even larger selection of what we could define as entertainment. Many people pity those who subscribe to ideas related to radical life extension and cryonics. It's often interpreted as an escape for those who aren't brave enough to face death, but the search for immortality isn't just that. We only seek immortality so we can live out what we see as fulfilling lives. If we can achieve this, we could carry out lives in which we have as much time as we need to watch the shows we like, to meet the people we want to meet, to discover our true passions, to fall in love. The point being, the search for eternal life can be equated to the search for eternal satisfaction. And with the more time you have, the more likely you are to discover what truly makes you happy. Most of the information I used on cryonics came from alcor.org. It's a great website which details everything you would want to know about cryonics, and it has a section on frequently asked questions if there's something you're unclear about. Even if you don't plan to freeze yourself, if there's anything to be gleaned from it, there's a plethora of information on stem cell research and medical advancements. Much of the research can be largely credited to Kim Eric Drexler, an engineer who specializes in molecular nanotechnology. He's built up an impressive resume, having worked in several US national laboratories, and assisting leadership and work done by the World Wildlife Fund. I'll leave links in the description to Alcor's website and to a brief bio of Eric Drexler. Thanks for watching. If you have any feedback, leave it in the comments section, and let me know what you'd like to have discussed in a future video. Having worked in several US national laboratories and assisting leadership in work done by the world, Tokyo Otomani. Okay.